So what's up, everybody? It's your boy Jonathan back at it again. And so I wanted to talk about, being prepared for life situations. And I know a lot of young people aren't prepared for anything. And that's because a lot of people aren't trained. Like when I was a kid, my dad was Army. And Army guys are prepared for everything. They got all their gear together, they're prepared for everything. And also, I used to be a part of the Boy Scouts, and they're prepared for everything. The Boy Scouts don't really exist like that anymore. And then also I grew up on a lot of military cartoons. Those people are prepared for everything. Also, superheroes with no powers that have to use gadgets in their brains. Those superheroes are prepared for everything. I grew up with all that stuff. And also novelty stationery. Like back in the day, there was like Trapper Keeper and what was it, Five Star Notebooks and pens with graphics on the sides that encouraged kids and got them really excited to make sure they had all their pencils for school and make sure they had their notebooks and make sure they had their sweet pencil cases. And I remember those pencil cases where you push the little buttons, your eraser shoots off this way, a little compartment opens up for your lead, another compartment opens up to put your pens, your crayons shoot off that way. Like it was nuts. And people just aren't prepared like that anymore. People, they lost this idea of being prepared for situations. Like, it's not sad, but it's reality. We haven't had no major wars anytime soon, so there's not a lot of kids growing up with veterans for parents. You know what I'm saying? And like the Boy Scouts doesn't exist no more. And you know, cartoons don't exist like that anymore. Like kids are more into like TikTok and video games and rap videos and things like that. So those old school like military cartoons or whatever don't exist no more that actually teach, or like, the superhero cartoons where they had gadgets and stuff. Those don't exist no more. Like, I mean, the kids are more focused on like Marvel stuff, which focuses on superheroes with powers. So you're not really getting this idea of being prepared. And it's a bunch of stuff. Even stationary is like people don't even really trip off that too hard anymore like they used to. Like there's so many times when people be like, you got a pen, I need a pen, and they don't even come prepared anymore. So I wanted to talk about that because it's just, I think when you're prepared for everything, anything, it just makes your life go by a lot smoother. Um, so like for example, I see a lot of young people like nobody wears sunglasses anymore. And I always wear sunglasses everywhere I go, like on my head, because the light's too bright and nobody wears them anymore. And sometimes they look at me like a weirdo, like because I always walk around with sunglasses to make sure, because if it gets sunny or something, I'm prepared. And people like, I don't understand, like, you could damage your eyes like that, or like just basically like walking around in the summertime or even the fall, and most people don't have like a thin jacket with a hood on it. You know what I'm saying? And in New York, it rains in the wintertime, and then it not in the winter, in the summertime it rains. And so all these people will be walking around in their shorts and t-shirts, and all of a sudden it rains and they don't have no protection. It's like, well, you didn't even look at the weather, like. So it's like, what you wear and things like that. It's also the food situation too. It'd be like takeout is so expensive. Restaurants are so expensive, Just all of that stuff is, even going to the corner store, it's so expensive. You know what I'm saying? And people shouldn't just rely on having money in their pocket to go buy food for lunch or go buy a snack, like, because you drain all your money and you don't have no more. You know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of people don't really pack food anymore like that. It's kind of crazy because like you can save a lot of money and save your resources for something more important. than just, every morning you got to go to McDonald's and get their breakfast meal, and then for lunchtime you got to go to Subway, or you got to go to the sit down Chinese restaurant, and then for a snack you got to go here and buy this. You know what I'm saying? And you could get that stuff cheap on at the grocery store and bring it with you. And another thing is like this idea that cell phones have taken over for like pen and paper. Like people just have cell phones and use cell phones for everything because it's got Google, it's got this, that, and the other. And sometimes, like years ago, I learned about case booking, and what that is. It's like when you're going through something or you have some issue you're trying to deal with, you like write stuff down and try to figure it out on a piece of paper. You know what I'm this is the situation. And it really helps to have a piece of paper and a pencil there versus like watching YouTube videos for the answers, or, you know, calling up people or looking up Google or reading, Reddit articles on what to do. You know what I'm saying? It's better to like take a piece of paper and a pencil and write it down, because then you don't have distractions. Because a lot of people may be giving you advice because they have their own intentions behind it. And it's better to have like a free mind and just write things down. Or even when you're bored, if you have a sketchbook and just write, draw pictures and create stories. And that's cool too, because it makes your imagination go, and you just kind of like get to be creative and get to explore your imagination. And so, it's just it's just always good to be prepared. And I was that's what I've been doing recently, is like really making sure I'm prepared for everything. Like really make sure, my meals are packed, and I bring my meals, make sure I have my notebook on me or a sketchbook, make sure I'm always have my sunglasses, my thin jacket with a hood on it. I got to get a new one, but just making sure you're prepared. Like in my backpack, I have not just all that stuff that I mentioned, but I have cough drops, because I always people always get sick. And also the what is it, the Mucinex for like coughing. I have that in my backpack. Just stuff like that. Just make sure I have a pair of reading glasses too, like, to make sure um you know I I'm almost 40, and so my eyesight ain't, it's not getting any better. So, I have a pair of reading glasses, like all these things. It's just like, just basically just all these things coming together, and you can basically be able to handle like anything. You know what I'm saying? Like, and without like a smartphone, telling you this and telling you that and brainwashing you on some other stuff, when you just needed a little bit of advice that you could have came up the answers for yourself by just writing down your ideas on a piece of paper, or just letting your imagination flow by drawing in a sketchbook. You know what I'm saying? Like things like that. Like, so I just want to encourage everybody to just be prepared and basically, you know, pack their backpack and make sure you have everything you need for the day. So I'm Jonathan. I'm out, y'all. Peace.